Yeah.
Alright, what's good up guys? Bluite is here. Now today, I want to start out with saying Happy Mother's Day everyone. Yeah, just want to wish you all a Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you go and show some appreciation for your mom, and yeah, let's just show some appreciation for all the moms out there. Also you might be wondering why am I wearing a different, why does my glove look more different than this one? That than this one? You see, I was trying to find my other glove. I was trying to find the other glove, but the other day, I just couldn't find it anywhere, so I had to use this one. This glove, but glove isn't so bad since this glove is pretty fitting for what we're gonna talk about on today's video. For today's video, so earlier this week, I was binge watching the Spectacular Spider-Man. Earlier this week, while during quarantine, I well, since we're all quarantined, I decided to binge watch the Spectacular Spider-Man. Sorry. Anyways, like I was saying, I decided to binge watch the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, and I remember that last year, I believe. Yeah, I think it was last year that we got a teaser for Into the Spider-Verse 2, and that made me wonder, could there be a possibility that we could get Josh Keaton? Is there a possibility for Josh Keaton to return as Spider-Man? That's that's what we're going to be discussing. No, honestly, guys. If you ask me, I think Sony should bring back Josh Keaton as Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse 2, because because honestly, guys, Josh Keaton, he's a freaking great Spider-Man, man. He was a great Spider-Man, and if they're able to and if Sony decides to bring him back to play as the Spider-Man from Spectacular Spider-Man, from like a business standpoint, it could be it is honestly, if you ask me, from like a business standpoint, it would be a good idea. Good idea, since Spectacular Spider-Man has a pretty big fan base because of how well it gets the character of Peter Parker right. Hell, before Spider-Man PS4 came out, some people for before Spider-Man PS4 came out, a lot of a lot of people said that a lot of people would say that Spectacular Spider-Man is without doubt the best representation of Spider-Man to date. And not to mention that Spectacular Spider-Man was definitely one of the best cartoons to come out in in the early 20s, like the early 20s that like the early 20s. Is that how you say it? The early 20s? I don't know I don't know how to say it right. But yeah. Yeah, will they bring back? Yeah, honestly, so could Josh Keaton possibly return as Spider-Man and into the Spider-Verse? Well, it could be a possibility. From like a business standpoint, it could be a good idea, and it could possibly roll in a lot more money than the movie will make without him in it. And honestly, and if they want, and if Sony wants to do it for like fan service, I think it would be a good idea. I honestly would love to see Josh Keaton return as Spider-Man into Spider-Verse 2, because honestly, guys, like I said before, Josh Keaton, he's the best. He's a great fucking Spider-Man. He's a great Spider-Man, and honestly, if I hope that Sony does decide to bring him back, because honestly, guys, I loved Spectacular Spider-Man when I was a kid. I loved it so much when, well, technically I'm still a kid. I mean, when I was small, I loved the show when I was small. It was such a great show. It was such a great show, and it was such a shame that the show was canceled, because it was canceled, and it's a shame that the show was canceled. So it never got into season 3. It got canceled because of Disney buying the rights to Marvel, and buying the rights Marvel and Sony and Disney made, and back then Sony and Disney made a deal that that Disney would keep the cartoon rights of Spider-Man, and that Sony would keep the film rights to Spider-Man. And honestly looking back at it, how and considering the fact that we got the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy, which in my opinion is not that bad. It's not that bad. Well, at least when it comes to the first movie. The second one's a fucking disaster. Um, sec- like one is a disaster. And considering the two fucking cartoon, the two Spider-Man cartoons, and considering the fact that we got two lame ass Spider-Man two lame as shit, lame as hell Spider-Man cartoons from Disney, makes me wish that it was reversed. Makes me wish back then it was reversed, and with Disney getting the film rights to Spider-Man, and with Sony keeping keeping the cartoon rights to Spider-Man, because not only that Spider-Man, because who knows, maybe that happened, then that Spider-Man probably would probably still be going on to this day. It'll probably have like 5 seasons by now, or it'll probably have 5 seasons by now, and not to mention that Tom Holland he's a pretty good actor. And as I mentioned, Tom Holland, he's a pretty good Spider-Man as well. And that would also mean that he would have been like released. Really, that means he would probably be set in the MCU like already. So yeah. So yeah. Overall, guys. Okay. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop because I'm kind of ranting for a bit. But yeah. Will Josh Keaton? Will Josh Keaton return? Will Josh Keaton Spider-Man return and Into the Spider-Verse? And Into the Spider-Verse too. Um. Well, from well, could be a possibility. Well, could be a possibility. Like if Sony, we honestly, I don't really know for sure if Sony would want to bring back Josh Keaton. Like if they want to do it to like bring in more money and for the sake of like or for like the sake of fan service, I think they should. Honestly, guys, honestly, guys, if you ask me, I definitely would want to see Josh Keaton return as Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse 2. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Do y'all think Josh Keaton should return as Spider-Man and Into the Spider-Verse 2, or do you think it's just best, to leave him out, to leave Josh Keaton Spider-Man out of Into the Spider-Verse 2? Let me know what y'all think in the comments section below. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications, all that. And yeah. See you guys later. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.